All right, so now let's move on to principled. So
Okay.
we covered professional.
Uh-huh.
It's moving into principled, so walk me through that.
Okay. So principled, I think to me, so on my little, this is what when I go door to door, I knock on someone's door, and and if they're not there, then I might say, sorry, I missed you, and I'll put it on their door.
That's cool.
And my phone number's there, so they can always call me, or my website, those kinds of things, so they can always get in touch. Or if they're there, I introduce myself, and I ask them if they have any questions about the city or the election or me or anything, and then I give them this. And so it says, Laura Pizmoht for City Council, professional, principled, proven results. So the reason I put principled there is because I have set principles. I'm not just, I'm going to do a good job. I mean, that's important, but I have actual principles that matter to me. So one thing in Willoughby Hills that I think is pretty well known, and if it's not, well, you're in for a treat here.
Ooh, all right.
Willoughby Hills has been known for a crazy political climate for at least 40 years, at least, if not longer. So, for years, the mayors and the councils have fought. There's been lawsuits, recalls, banishments from the council table.
Wasn't there an illegal firing recently?
Oh yeah, you might have seen that. You might have seen me before on a video, maybe on the news.
On the news, yeah. was it? And then correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I'm trying to remember from the newsreel, but wasn't it the current mayor?
Yes.
Tried to fire all of council.
Yes. Because and this was his reasoning. This is on Fox 8 News. They cut the budget too much.
Okay.
So that was his reasoning for
and
that.
And the budget, to be clear, is taxpayers' money.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So that was
so
the
as a taxpayer, I'm probably excited that you did that.
Well,
right. You just got illegally fired. I'm sorry.
No,
okay.
Well, yeah, no.
But you're back. It wasn't legal.
Yeah,
right?
It was never legal. Yes,
okay.
it was.
All right,
yeah.
Cool.
But that is one of those kinds of stunts that has been going on for years. And I don't want to get into the mayor did this and the council did this. Actually, since then, I've been working with our Mayor Wager, for this past year, and it's been wonderful. I think he's had one of his best years of his 12 years in office, and I'm really proud to help him move towards retirement from public life and on a high note. So it's been a great year,
actually. Going out with principles.
Well, again, and my principle isn't about being right. I'm not principled in the way that.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, I am. This is not about me being right. This is not about me winning this argument. This is about doing what's right for our city. And even though, I went through that where the mayor told people, and I was on the news with malfeasance over my picture, that was a pretty traumatic event in my life. But my job isn't about.
Like, Mom, what is malfeasance? What?
But it's actually it was a great teachable moment for my family to say. People can say anything they want about you. I can't control what they're going to do. I can't control if they're going to try to legally fire me. I can't control if someone's going to sue me, but I can control how I respond. And so I just said, no, this isn't true. And I stood up for the voters, because the voters are the ones who put most of those council members in office, and those council members who selected people to fill vacancies like me, that's how I was appointed to fill a vacancy 2 years ago. And so we're standing up not just I wasn't standing up for myself, I was standing up again for the voters, the taxpayers, and the city itself, because this is not good for our city. That was not good for our city. But anyway, it's not about who's right or wrong and something like that. It's about what's right for our community. And so even after something like that, working with the mayor was important, and it was necessary and the right thing to do to move our city forward. And together, since that, so this was a little over a year ago where the mayor tried to remove council. Since then, we have come together. We brought in 2 major employers to Willoughby Hills. So this is going into proven results.
All right.
But that's okay.
All right.
So we brought in 2 major employers to Willoughby Hills, Hospice of Western Reserve and Produce Packaging.
Awesome.
We hired our first new full-time firefighter into our first new full-time firefighter position in Willoughby Hills in 28 years. So we expanded and we added a new full-time firefighter, and we're going to be hiring 2 more. We also paved more roads I live on the east side of Willoughby Hills, and that's what I represent. So in my district alone, we have paved more roads in the time I've been on council these past 2 years, in those 2 years, than in the previous 10 years combined.
Booyah. So selfishly, as a Kirtland resident, who this is a big road topic.
Yeah, well, it is for us too.
Can you share some of your success with Kirtland? I would love to connect you with their team.
Yeah, I would love to tell them. I mean,
I love for JJ to not run around in a pothole every day.
Yeah, well, I don't want. I mean,
ride your bike? No, it's dangerous.
It was crazy. Yeah, yeah. But see, those are the things that matter, and I know they matter to the people. So what matters to my neighbors, what matters to my family, what matters to everyone in my city. I know it. The roads are important. We don't want you don't want your roads falling apart. I mean, my road was falling into the river for a while there, so we need to get that fixed.
It's intense.
Yeah, but we just need those priorities, and so those are the principles. It's what are our priorities? Our priorities in Willoughby Hills are bringing in businesses, because for years our West End has languished. Businesses have fled. We lost a Burger King. I mean, if your Burger King can't stay, you're in trouble.
Okay. All right. That's if
so you need to be able to. So economic development is critically important, which is with my professional background in that's really helpful. So while I can't single-handedly do all the economic development for the city and be a city council person, I can help others. I can do some, and I can also get the other professionals we need to come in to help, and I can work with other people to help them understand what needs to be done too. So that's good. And the roads are critically important, as James said. Roads are critically important.
It's 40 keys.
And then safety. I mean, and a lot of times, our fire department had been understaffed for years. We actually increased. There was actually an income tax increase in Willoughby Hills to pay for safety forces. And after the income tax passed in 2010, the funding for safety forces plummeted. So we increased our taxes for the purported purpose of staffing our fire and police departments, and then we unfunded. Basically, we stopped funding those things, and our fire department was critically understaffed for years after that tax increase.
Really?
So that was that made me so angry, because back in 2010, I had 2 babies at the time. I packed up my 2 babies. I got in my car, and I thought, my kids are going to be safe.
Yep.
And I voted for that tax increase. It makes me so angry. Because I don't want to have an unsafe city, but that wasn't true, and I didn't know that. But now I know. Now I have a much more critical eye. That's not acceptable.
Yeah.
So we don't need to do that to fund our safety forces. That's not acceptable.
Okay.
So, but funding our fire department, that's very important. But that's not something people necessarily know, because they're still going to come. Even if they're working, 80 hours a week, these people are still going to come and help you. So people aren't going to necessarily understand that this is so taxing on our fire and police departments. They're still going to do their jobs.
The Willoughby Hills firefighters that I know are just, again, amazing human beings, but they're willing to do whatever it takes to help it.
Yes.
Anybody willing to run into a fire to save others. I mean, that is, first off, that's just a whole, Thank you. But ultimately, that is something that, again, and that's something that's always kind of boggled my mind, is they're doing it a lot of times with, depending on how they're hired now, that, is without benefits, without full-time status, without a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have a lot of part-time firefighters. Yeah, and they're making $16, $17 an hour. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely astonishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so again, not worried, but. 2, I guess that's one of your principles. Just, would you say one of your principles is allocating money to where you do what you say you're going to do, but also to put your money where it's supposed to go?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, common sense budgeting.
Common sense. I like this.
I mean,
right, cool.
Really. I mean, it makes so the things that need to be funded first are safety forces and roads, right? Those should be funded first. Then probably recreation would be the 3rd priority. And then after that, we can start looking at different perks for people and increasing salaries for administrators. But council we shouldn't make a ton of money. I don't think we shouldn't, and we don't.
Yeah.
We don't at all, trust me. But the mayor, the mayor should be. It's more of a service position. It's not really. I mean, there needs to be a balance, but we shouldn't be spending tons of money on administrative costs. That doesn't directly benefit the residents. So wherever we're spending our money, our taxpayer money, it should be invested for services that improve the lives of the people who live in the city. And beyond that, I'm not sure we should do it.
Right.
I don't think we should.
Right. I agree. Yeah, it's man, I'm getting all fired up. So, awesome. So we got professional, we got principal. Anything else you would add to the principled? I mean, just common sense.
Yeah.
Do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Put the voter. So the voters vote. Say yes, you can have more of my money.
Yeah.
When you take more of their money, actually putting it towards what you said you're going to spend it. Again, because you're not voting for, we're talking about with the babies, with the kids, and even for me, any Kirtland, election that comes around, or vote yes to increase. I'll gladly increase my taxes because it's going towards safety, it's going towards the roads, going towards this. But
if it is, though.
If it is, and I feel like that's something where that I feel like that's just, and it's not just Willoughby Hills, it's everywhere where it's just kind of, oh, well, we're going to call it this. This would be our way to get more money from the taxpayer. We're going to raise taxes, but it's going to be cute and cuddly on the surface, but then we're going to just redirect and use it for nonsense sometimes.
Well, and I think the last thing I'll say about the principal thing is that so I have and will continue to stand up for that. And I will say we cannot spend money on things that are not investments for services that make our city a better place for our residents to live. So even if that means people yell and scream at me, or spread crazy rumors about me, or sue me, or try to remove me from office and accuse me of committing malfeasance or gross misconduct because I cut the budget too much. That's fine.
Those are some extreme accusations. Those are some
it's
extreme
outrageous.
Words.
I know, but
oh my gosh, I can't.
But
you
that's
hear about Laura? She's so malfeasant. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good. I don't know.
Wanting to have a budget, again, that invests our money into the taxpayers and the residents rather than the people working there or supposedly serving the city or for making their lives easier. That's not what this is about.
Yeah.
This is about the people.
Yeah, a budget is not punishment. And I feel like that's where a diet is not punishment.
Right.
But it's just that's kind of it's not just Willoughby Hills.
You're a financial fighter.
I'm a financial. Perfect. So for me, again, I never had a budget until I couldn't find a job out of college, and then finance is always hiring. So for me, it's just it's keeping score. Everybody, in some shape or form, there might be something in life that you keep score at.
Right.
And what you keep score at, you magically you thrive. You might not win every time, but you win most of the time. So budgeting for the city, you're not punishing your fellow administrators. You're not punishing people. It's just saying, hey, literally, we have no idea where we're at, and if we don't know where we're at, there's no way to know where we're going.
Right.
If we can't say we have X coming in, X going out, which leaves us.
Yeah, it's easy to just spend money. It's easy to give money to the squeaky wheels. And when you have people working in City Hall, it's easy to just give them money.
In the Constitution, it says you must max out your credit cards.
You would think you must max out the tax rates and loans to the city. It's easy.
Money just grows on trees.
Yeah,
and
it's easy to just spend money. It's hard to be disciplined. And you know what? When you are cutting a budget, when you are being disciplined with a budget, you're going to make some people angry. Just like with kids, right? Like if I can't buy my kids the $180 sneakers because it's ridiculous and you shouldn't pay that much for sneakers. It's crazy. They grow out of them and that's crazy.
unless for the shoes I want now 100. I'll pay 200.
If you're working for it, I don't care, but I'm not paying that.
Correct.
So, but you might have to say no. You can only afford $30 sneakers. Sorry, honey, and it's going to make your kid mad, but that's what you have to do, and that's the same thing here.
But I feel like you're talking about just the principle having fundamental principles of life.
Yes.
And I feel like that's another thing too. for example, if someone's petitioning like every citizen should get that $180 pair of shoes, say, okay, I'm not going to say no, but let's explore some other things that might be more important than everybody
like paving
getting
the roads.
Yeah, like maybe when you're in those fancy cool shoes, you would like to walk on roads that aren't sinking into a river.
True, because if you have the fancy cool shoes and your roads are falling apart and you trip and break your leg and you have to wear a cast, well, then you don't even get to wear the shoes. So.
Oh, damn. But that's, I guess you only need one. But,
it's $90.
Yeah, but it's just and I think this is when you were talking about before from your professional experience, before you're on city council, and even to talking about how you've taken huge strides with the current administration in spite of the drama has actually brought you guys closer together to work, because that's just who you are. You're saying, hey, let's get those shoes, but let's have a conversation about if those shoes make you happy.
No, we're going to pay the roads.
We're going to pay the roads. Okay, let's just hear it.
Let's forget the shoes.
So again, trying to just use just more.
I know.
I'm sorry, but just it's okay to spoil yourself every now and then. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's okay to spoil the city. Like, hey, we're going to have this event.
Of course.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Yeah.
But we have to read. The goal is not to just take more money from people.
Right.
The goal is, hey, let's try and take the same amount of money and let's 5 years ago, this was a problem. It's not a problem anymore. So let's just redirect that money to now. It's the roads. We got to get our new LeBrons. So just kind of that. Am I making sense? So I feel like that's where again, it's not. The goal is not to spend more of the taxpayers' money. It's more of how can we redirect and reallocate to what is going to make you happy. Like what. Money is just money, but what do we need to spend it on so that everybody wins?
Right.
So everybody's happy and everybody can.
Well, everybody can't win, and that's the problem. So how did the taxpayers?
Politics.
How did the taxpayers? Right. Well, sometimes you pick your poison. The choice you get to vote, and yes is bad and no is bad, and you have to say, okay, which bad is less bad, and that's how it works. I mean, sometimes it's like that. But yeah, I think that's important to understand. Like sometimes. If you're doing the job right, people are going to be angry sometimes because you can't always please everyone. There's limited resources, and sometimes the squeakiest wheel is going to be the one who doesn't get what they want, and they're going to throw a big fit and sue you. I mean, it's just how it is. There's nothing you cannot stop that.
That's in the Constitution too, right?
It might be. No.
We were based on suing people. That's a birthright.
If someone sues you, you just have to roll with it. It stinks. It's hard, but it's part of the job, and it's part of the job for anybody who's doing anything of consequence.
But I think that I didn't think. I know, like that's to me why, again, I trust you, just not in the city council role, but just and outside that is just like you are steadfast in this is what's right. You can say what you want. You can call me names. You can sue me, but this is right.
Don't though.
I'm gonna stand for. I mean, like, please don't sue me. Please, okay, you're gonna have like 18 lawsuits at this video.
I'm kind of good with that.
So
I'm done.
No more lawsuits. All right. So no, just you are an immovable object.
Yes, I am.
Immovable.
So.
You know what I mean? Like seriously, like that's like you're just.
I'm the rock in the ocean, and
it's just like.
I'm just gonna
there's all this
keep doing
craziness,
what's right.
and like, hey, this is right, so I'm not moving.
Yeah.
So and thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. So because that's the hardest thing to do. The right thing is always the hardest thing. So
yeah.
Ooh, I'm all fired up. So
okay.
So we got professional. Talk about principled. Yes. Got me all fired up.